Hi! Okay. First off, thank you! Oh my gosh! The positive comments I received on my first video was just... It even motivated me to get started on my next video, but it also made me overthink a lot about what my next video should be. And I decided I should make a video on animal stories! Yay! Something fun, something cute, something funny. Also, while you're here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button. Please, it is greatly appreciated, and stay tuned to the end because I have video proof of one of the incidents. I've had my fair share of animal stories, I like to believe. The good and the bad. Also, fun fact about my family, my dad is actually crazy good with animals. Like, Disney princess type good. It would be 8 a.m. and everyone is inside eating breakfast, and we would look outside and there's my dad surrounded by animals. I know it sounds unusual, but like, he is sitting there drinking his tea and there's a fox, some squirrels, birds, and other animals around him. I remember I used to be like so jealous, but honestly, who wouldn't? He was living like every little girl's fantasy. My sisters and I would go outside to try and attract animals like he does, but obviously it never worked. The first story happened when I was actually really young. It was a fresh spring day and my sister and I had left the house to play outside. For a layout of the scenery, our house was on top of this small hill and we had to go down like 2 other small hills to get to the greater backyard, which is connected to the woods. And these hills were a pain to go up because they were so small but so freaking steep. But they were fun to go down, especially during the winter, which means sledding. Anyways, my sister and I went down these hills to play, and we did it for like a good 10 minutes until my sister taps my shoulder and I see a buck, male deer, staring right at us. For some reason, my sister starts making funny faces at the buck. I don't know why. Well, as a buck would, he just starts charging at us. My sister and I are freaking out and we start bolting up the hill, which makes us slower. But I've never felt so much adrenaline run through my body. By the end of the first hill, we were full on crawling up the hill and we managed to make it to the front door by a second. Once we slammed the door and looked outside, the buck was looking dead at us. If I had 1 penny for every time an animal was thrown at me, I would have 2 pennies. But it's weird it happened twice, right? The first time was my sister. We were simply playing in the backyard when suddenly we see a groundhog. And as kids, we are gullible. I don't know why, but we thought like groundhogs predicted the future, which is true, but like not in the way that we thought. So fun fact, the groundhog was actually the exact same groundhog my mom and her sister played with growing up as kids. So that's funny how everything spins around. Well, anyways, my sister and I had chased the poor thing down. I was just behind her and asked to see what it was when she caught it. However, I was not expecting her to turn around and throw the groundhog at me. This may be the part where I mentioned I never want to fight against my sister because she is simply just a strong individual. However, I never once expected her to have the strength to pick up a groundhog and throw it at me. I screamed as, of course, I was taken down with the poor thing, and it quickly scurried off me and ran to its hole on the other side of the yard. I'm sitting there stunned in silence while my sister is laughing her butt off. The second time, this happened actually like 2 years ago. I went to my cousin's house for a birthday party and it was going great. We played games, made up games, ate food, sang happy birthday, the whole schmeck. Once the party was over, we were outside getting ready to leave when I just so happened to notice the amount of frogs in the area. My sister and cousins were running around trying to avoid getting jumped on by the frog, including myself. However, my uncle comes out and he's laughing at our misery and simply picks up a frog. And one by one, he like slowly coaxed them to come pet the frog. And they do actually slowly start petting the frog. And the frog is just sitting there peacefully sitting in my uncle's hand. Now, I am all the way on the other side of the sidewalk, practically in the neighbor's yard, and I'm ready to walk away if they dare bring their frog cooties near me. My uncle's calling me dramatic and we go back and forth when suddenly he smirks and throws the frog at me. I screamed so loud my lungs hurt, but he didn't stop. He picked up another frog and started chasing me with it up and down the neighborhood. Of course, we got a few noise complaints, like 2 people yelled at us to shut up, but like, I was terrified. If you were in my situation, you would do the exact same thing. Okay, unpopular opinion, parakeets are amazing. Like, they are so tiny, but filled with so much personality. My friends and I used to meet up to talk about our parakeets. For example, my first pet, in America at least, was named Samantha. She was a yellow parakeet who was sassy. Samantha only loved 2 things, her bell and certain types of music. Well, one thing about Sam was that she held grudges up until the day she died. This bird never forgets. Samantha's origin story was that she was actually a gift given to my sister for her kindergarten graduation. However, that same day, my sister got gifted a toy parakeet. So now Sam was in the care of me and my other sister. Wait, what? Anyways, my mom was the one to buy Samantha. This is important. The very first day we had Samantha, the small bird box they gave us, this girl was causing havoc inside that thing. The box was practically moving by itself in the car. We were very worried that she was gonna end up flying on the box and flying in the car. But thankfully that never happened, because that would have been absolute chaos, especially on the road. Well, once we got home and opened the thing, Sam took a good look at her new human family, and instead of normal birds who like panics and like fly around the house, she saw my mom and instead just flew and straight up attacked my mom. My mom is screaming as the bird is nipping and flying at her. We managed to save my mom from this tiny bird who simply flew to the railing just to look down at my mom. No joke, every single time my mom was around Samantha, she would not hesitate to bite or threaten her. One time, we were setting up Samantha's new cage, and Samantha had wandered onto my mom's lap. Now my mom is happy, when suddenly Samantha just looks her dead in the eye and takes the biggest poop ever on my mom's lap, maintaining eye contact. While I would love to do a video on my baby Sam, this is about other animals. This story didn't happen to me, more so my grandparents, but it had me involved, so... Well, this time the story is about 2 little doves. Apparently they had made a cute nest, and my grandfather was ready to throw the nest away when suddenly... When my grandmother asked why the birds were still there, he said, why not let them stay? So while my grandfather was acting all macho, my grandma just knew that he was just being a softie. And so my grandparents gained new tenants. So they had built a cute little nest in my bike basket. On the downside, I couldn't ride my bike for a while, but on the plus side, it was so cute. I found out when I came home from break, and I saw cute birds in my basket. However, 2 peaceful weeks passed when the hawks came. The area my grandparents are in has a lot of hawks. However, for one, they're mainly on the other side of the river that my grandparents live. Usually for the doves, one doves leave to go collect food and the other dove stays. For some reason, didn't really figure out why one of the doves stayed, but we figured out that day that both of the doves have left the nest. For the first time in a long time, a hawk came, swooped into the nest, and grabbed something. My grandfather saw and rushed over and noticed that the hawk was holding something he hasn't seen before. A baby dove. So my grandfather quickly grabbed a broom and fended off the hawk and put a bucket over the poor injured baby he assumed was dead. My grandmother had come home later that day and noticed a giant hawk standing at the railing and peering at a bucket. My grandmother said the hawk was radiating bad energy and had an evil look in its eye, like it was up to no good. Her gut feeling got the best of her and she grabbed a broom and swatted the hawk away. However, in the exact moment, the doves came back and landed in the nest, and suddenly, of course, they began to panic, looking all over the place for their baby. My grandmother was confused until my grandfather walked over and took off the bucket. My grandmother was shocked to see a poor injured baby. She watched as the doves cradled their baby, took it, and flew off. Another silly deer story for you guys, you know, spinning it back around. This one actually happened at my college campus with my friend. We like to take late night walks. One, because it helps us sleep better, and two, it's just funnier to take a late night walk. I don't know, things are just more funny at night. I'll do a video on our walks and our little adventures. But for now, I'll talk about this one story. We were taking a walk and we ended up at the campus like trail walk, and it's like an actual forest. And there was a big red sign with bold letters that was saying, "Do not enter past 8 p.m. Now, me and my friend, we take a look at this sign, and we just think to ourselves that we're cool. We're cool guys. You know, we disobey signs. We're rebellious. So I had my pepper spray in hand, and my friend was recording a video using the flash. So we had a flashlight and pepper spray. We're walking, singing a song, and we're like mid-deep in the woods when suddenly I realized, oh, I need to test if my pepper spray really works. And my friend says, yeah, girl, go for it. So we tested if my pepper spray works, and we spray it in like a bush behind us, but like at the same time the wind was blowing it in the back. Keep in mind, it's important. At the very same moment, my friend turns around and she sees a deer, and she's screaming and running, and I'm screaming and running. Now remember the pepper spray that I sprayed? We ran straight into the pepper spray. As we were running, our eyes were hurting, and it didn't even really like kick in that bad until we got out the woods on walking, when suddenly we got like this crazy itch in our eye and we realized what we did. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy, honestly, and once again, I'm so thankful for all the positive comments and the positive feedback. They honestly do make my day. Once again, if you can, please like, comment, and subscribe. They're greatly appreciated. Thank you.
We are in the outback.
Let me see my phone first.
Okay. Spray that thing. It works.